Me and Ellie are from China. China, yeah. And we're like best friends, like sisters.
I come from Germany, Frankfurt.
I'm from Brazil.
Seoul, the capital city of Korea.
From Spain.
From Southampton.
Kingston, Jamaica.
Beirut, Lebanon.
Grew up in Montauk.
Colombia.
Qatar. I'm from New York City.
I'm from the Shinnecock tribe on Long Island, New York, and I go to the Ross School.
I remember when I was in 5th grade, we would go to lunch with Harvard professors and Oprah and so many inspirational, and monks from Tibet who would come make mandalas at the school. And it just gives you an idea of how big the world is, but yet you have such a big impact on everything around you.
Really like all the curriculum and how they combine cultural history into every subject.
At Ross, all our classes are integrated. We're learning about the start of the Roman Empire.
We're replicating Roman coins. The coins were a form of propaganda, but they were also currency.
In cultural history, we're learning about Julius Caesar.
Stinking breath because Caesar had refused the crown, that it had almost choked Caesar.
The play is based on what happened from that period that we're studying. It makes you understand Rome more.
We brought to these places because Rome would trade with this place.
Throughout the Silk Road, people traded their goods and they needed to learn different languages so they could communicate with other people from other places. The Silk Road started combining cultures.
In science, right now we're caring for silkworms. Silk was a major trade in this time period because there was no fabric like it.
Studying the Silk Road trade route helped me realize how the Romans built their empire through cultural fusion.
We go beyond our own discipline. So I love the fact that I'm teaching language, I'm teaching history, I'm teaching culture.
Your mind and your body aren't separate, and your mind is still an organ of your body. Learning in the classroom and also feeding your body, you need them both to succeed.
We're not just studying about us, we're studying about the world, and not only how it affects us, but how ancient history developed our current way of thinking.
There needs to be a clearer understanding of culture and more sensitivity to the great political meaning that has now been invested in something as simple as a piece of cloth.
Different viewpoints make every topic so much more interesting, and I think that's something that the international atmosphere at Ross really allows.
If I were to move to Iraq, how could I tell a widow from somebody just wearing black?
She said you can't.
My history class alone has 3 German girls, a boy from Hong Kong, a boy from Jamaica.
I hear people speaking Japanese, Arabic.
We sit at breakfast and I'm trying to learn German and Swedish at the same time. I love having international students here. I get to really learn a lot about the different cultures.
In junior year, we had a project called the Modernity Project. I did Beijing Opera. I think it is a very unforgettable experience.
One of the electives I teach is intercultural communications elective.
So people who want to study in China want to go for government jobs?
You know, the government salary is very low.
One of the things that's going on for the international students who come to the Ross School is they're here to learn, but they're also here at the Ross School to teach.
We have a program with Tensta Gymnasium in Sweden.
I arrived in Sweden when I was 5 years old. I speak now Turkish, Azeri, Russian, English, and Swedish.
No, seriously, I want to come next year, though.
You have?
Yeah, you have to come.
It'll be fun.
Ross takes your mind to a totally different place, and you think of people other than yourself. You think of what is in China, what's going on in Japan.
Plato, you have to go outside your bubble and actually meet people. And by doing that, when you're in high school, you're prepared to meet the whole world.
In the Golden Matrix elective, we are examining the passage of knowledge through time, and we used the research from these M-terms that went to the different nodes throughout the Golden Matrix narrative.
We're standing on the crest of one of the 7 hills of Istanbul, once known as Constantinople,
and incorporated it into our website.
We can hear the very birds that Plato heard, that those threads from ancient Egypt, from Babylon, and from India were collected, were translated, were understood, thrown like a football into the future.
Being there and seeing just the levels of history, to see the artifacts that are actually what we're studying.
It's really cool to see the origins of our modern world.
If we want to stand a chance against all these problems that are facing us, we need to put a higher value on education.
We have a school motto.
Know thyself in order to serve.
They leave with a strong sense of responsibility to community, locally, nationally, globally.
They have already vaccinated 3.5 million people. Yeah, it's just amazing how people, like, they see a problem and then they're so ambitious and they're like, you know what, I want to make a change.
In this society, to be global citizens becoming more and more important.
Transpose to Wisconsin. What's Wisconsin have to do with Cairo? Why did the protesters in Tahrir Square order pizza for the protesters in Madison?
As students learn about global issues, they find it difficult to stay away from global activism.
Our school is all about trying to help other people, which I really like.
My senior project was I was studying the social and economic benefits of recycling in the favelas of Brazil.
My senior project was a fundraiser to fund the Sim Kids organization.
We were able to talk with Iraqi refugees.
My name is Aya.
I'm leading a branch at Hunter College of our organization that's focused on social justice activism.
I'm going to continue doing community service for the rest of my life.
Everyone is entitled in full equality to a fair and public hearing.
It's empowering to be able to understand and find a medium to express yourself through that speaks not only to you, but to your peers, to the people around you.
Southampton wrote it up as a grant proposal, and they're looking to get funding to further expand.
I'm definitely inspired by some of the kids I see around me.
What I've done here is a physical representation of both the beautification and decay of American society.
It speaks to the strength of Ross that we give them the chance to explore their understanding of the world that they live in through these mediums.
Ross is diverse not only in culture, but in interests and desire and what you want to pursue.
I'm a Ross School alumni from the first graduating class, and I'm currently the Dean of Students for the middle school at RGA. The things that I was doing as a student, now I'm bringing to other students as a teacher.
While I was in college, I started a game of tag called Humans vs. Zombies, and people play it all over the world now.
It was cool being able to come to a school that really allowed me the opportunity to artistically express myself. I'm a Black native, and isn't that ironic? Who knew identity could be oxymoronic?
My biggest passion is theater.
I am an amateur podcaster out of Japan. I got actually tons of comments about the Sayuki story we talked about.
This summer I'm going to be traveling to Egypt to work with revolutionary socialists.
My interest in child psychology started actually here at Ross.
What I want to do is to change the Chinese education system.
I wouldn't have been able to go to the Ross School if the scholarship fund didn't exist.
After 8th grade, I did receive the Aretha Franklin scholarship, and that meant the world to me. That was the only way that I would be able to graduate here, which is what I really wanted to do.
Economic diversity is as important as cultural diversity because it allows people of all kinds of backgrounds to come together and learn and work collaboratively.
Ross focused so much on not just being a student in East Hampton, but also a human being in the world.
I know that I really want to help people, and I want to help make it a better place for everyone. And I know I can't do it on my own, but if you start and you're really dedicated and you try, I do think that one person can make a really big difference and change the world.